You want to buy a Corvette. Should you buy a C6? Well, in my opinion, absolutely. So, this is a 2006 C6 Chevrolet Corvette LT3, and it is an amazing car. You know, Germany has its Porsche 911s and England has its Aston Martins, but America has always had its Chevrolet Corvette, and it is dear to them, and for good reason. American cars get bad rep. They can only go in a straight line. They don't know how to make cars that can turn. The interior is kind of crappy, so on and so on, but the Corvette kind of changed that. The C6 from the C5 has around a 70 horsepower jump from 345 to 400, and then the same model later before the C7 came out, 430 horsepower. The 2006 model has an LS2 6.2 liter V8 engine, which is monstrous. Don't forget, this Corvette, it's in the front, not in the back. And it puts out 400 horsepower, 400 pounds-feet of torque. Some other numbers that are pretty staggering. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat for the base trim, which is this. And it can do a quarter mile in 12.6 seconds. Pretty good numbers, especially when you're talking about the base trim. Okay, I'll stop doing that. The Z06 is obviously the trim that comes after this. That's the really coveted one that everybody wants to get. They're still a little pricey, even when you're talking about the C6. This is the LT3. It's right in the upper echelon of the LT models, and in my opinion, it's the sweet spot. The LT3 comes with a Bose surround system, Bluetooth, leather seats, heated seats, telescopic steering wheel, low profile wheels, and it comes with an awesome heads-up display, which I'll address later. So yeah, if you can't find a Z06 for a good deal, I would have no issues getting this car. And it can really stand toe-to-toe with cars that cost twice its price, which is what the Corvette's known for, right? It looks like a car that is a six-figure car, but it can stand toe-to-toe with some of the fastest cars out there. And you're spending even less when you're talking about a used Corvette. So now we're driving the Corvette, and first things first, that exhaust sounds amazing. Let's give it a little bit more gas. And it crackles and pops. It really suits the character of the Corvette. The LT3 came with a bunch of different options. And this is why I would pick this one, because it comes with a Bose surround sound system. It comes with climate controls, Bluetooth. It would come with telescopic steering wheel, leather seats, and heated seats, which are all pretty good things to have. And that Bose surround system, it does sound pretty good. And that's because it's a two-seater, doesn't have that much space to travel in here. But it really is good. It really does bump, and it sounds amazing. Other than that, you do have your hard plastic. There's no dancing around that. It is prone to cracking, and it is prone to fading over time, just because finger oils and things like that rubbing constantly against it. The gauges are very, very, very easy to read. It has a nice red hue to it. The numbers have a nice sporty look to it. I really like the font. And then you have your heads-up display. So the heads-up display is something special. I really like it because you don't have time to look away. This isn't a time that you want to spend any time looking away from on the road. Not that you would in any car, but in this car especially. You see that little fixing I got to do around every turn, even slight turns? It's because, well, this car is not one of those cars that's going to drive itself. You have to drive it, and it will push you. And that's what I love about the Corvette. And I don't know if that's a thing for most muscle cars, but especially in this one, I'm sitting so low to the ground. You know, you've got a wider stance on the car, and you get a lot of feedback. There's no dead zones. Every turn that you get in this car, there's so much feedback. Yeah, the suspension is rough, and the seating is a little rough on the back, but all that feedback is important when you're driving this car. 6-speed transmission. All right, let's just get this over with. It is not good. I'm sorry, but it's very notchy. And if you've been seeing me shifting and going downshifting and upshifting, then you know what I'm talking about. So not only that, but I'm always questioning what gear I'm in. It's not easy to read. And I have to think about what gear I'm in every time I shift. I could be in 4th gear, I could be in 6th gear. Unless you have a good sense of how fast the engine should be going and RPM rates, it's kind of hard to feel and kind of hard to read. So if I drop it into 3rd gear, it's very notchy. It's not smooth at all. 4th gear, I don't know why Chevrolet made you have to put so much effort just to shift gears. You should be really focusing on the driving, and shifting is really important, especially in a 6-speed. So it's kind of a shame they put this transmission in it. Yeah, you get over the interior of the car. It is kind of cheap looking. It is simple looking, so I give it a break. But you get over it after a while because you're just so much focused on driving the car. And I've been spoiled. You know, it's 2020. This is an 06. I can't bash it that much, but it is important to address. If you're looking to buy this car, it does have that kind of cheap plastic in here. Should you spend $20,000 on an older Corvette? Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. Again, the 6.2 liter V8 engine, tons of power, a lot of fun to drive. This car looks fantastic. You're gonna turn heads, and when you spend money in a car like this, that's what you want it to do. I've had it for the week, and it's been so much fun to drive. I can't emphasize how much fun it has been. This car wants to kill you, and I'm gonna keep saying that because it really does. But I love every second of driving it because it will push you just as hard as you push the car. So, thanks for watching. C6 Corvette, should you buy one? Absolutely.